Hi guys, so today we're going to go through a beginner's Pilates workout. Be roughly 20 to 25 minutes, okay? So we're going to start on our hands and knees, placing the hands directly underneath your shoulders, the knees directly underneath your hips, head in a neutral position, looking straight down at the mat in front of you, okay? Now as we lift the left arm, we're going to extend the right leg. At your furthest point out, you're pushing the heel away, pointing the fingers away, and then you're bringing the elbow to meet the knee, small hold, and then back out again. As you bring the knee to meet the elbow, try and round the back up, so go to that crunch position. Slowly extend out. Super. As we extend out, that's when we inhale. As you bring the knee up to meet the elbow, that's when we exhale. Just going to do one more. And place that hand and knee back on the ground. And we're going to go straight in the opposite side. So at your furthest point out, your hand up in line with your shoulder, heel up in line with your hip, and then bring the knee up to meet the elbow. Again, deep breath in as you open up. Exhale as you close up. We're going to do two more. Keeping that head in a neutral position. Torso staying square to the ground. And place that hand and knee back on the ground. From here, same position with the hands and knees. We're going into our cat-cow. So we're tucking the chin in initially, round the back up, trying to pull the hips towards the chest. Hold for 4 to 5 seconds. And then reverse that movement, shoulders back and down, push the tummy towards the ground, head to a neutral position. Make sure we try and keep our shoulders as far away from your ears as possible. 4 to 5 second hold, roughly at either end. Every rep, trying to get a bit more movement through the spine. So one more each way. And back down, slowly exhale as we're lifting the head. And from here, you're going to bring that right foot up outside the right hand. Slide your left knee a little bit further back. So your right foot is up outside the right hand. You're going to drop that right elbow down towards the ground. Bring the right hand up in the air. Hold for a second. And then back down. Every rep, try and get the elbow a little bit closer to the ground. Make sure the right foot stays flat on the ground as you rotate at the highest point. Ideally, you want one long line from the bottom hand to the top hand. 2 more reps. Again, exhale as you open up. Inhale as you come back down. Last one. Bring that right hand back on the ground. Bring the right foot back onto your knee. Left foot up outside the left hand. Slide the right knee a little bit further back. Left elbow towards the ground. Left hand up in the air. Again, exhaling as we go up. Every rep, you're trying to get that elbow a little bit closer to the ground. Nice controlled movement throughout. 2 more reps. Keep that left foot completely flat as you rotate. 1 more rep. Super. Place the hand back down, back onto your knees. Knees as wide as possible. Big toes together. Sit back onto your heels and just crawl the hands out as far as you possibly can, keeping the bum back on the heels. Deep breaths, so 6-7 seconds on the inhale, and on the exhale, crawl the hands a little bit further away, pulling against the mat. Nice and relaxed again on the inhale, And as you exhale, crawl the hands a little bit further. Super. We're going to come forward, back onto our hands. Starting on the hands and knees. We're going to step back with one foot, followed by the second. So your hands are directly onto your shoulders, feet hip width apart. Again, head in a neutral position, looking straight down at the mat. I want you to imagine you have a plate on your lower back. That plate cannot fall off, so you're holding that straight line the whole way throughout your body. Just because we're holding the movement doesn't mean we hold our breath. At whatever breathing rate you like, just make sure you're under control the whole time with your breathing. You'll find your arms, wrists, shoulders getting a little bit fatigued now. We're going to hold for 15 seconds or so. Then we're going to drop back onto our knees. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back onto our knees. Sit back onto the heels again. Let's try and crawl the hands a little bit further this time. Getting a bit more length through the upper part of your back. Every time you exhale, crawl the hands further away. And we're going to come forward again, and we're just going to lay yourself flat on the mat, roll onto your side, and just rest the ear on the arm. We want a straight line from our shoulder down to our feet, top hand in front of the chest, toes pointed away as you lift the leg up. As you lower the leg, point the toe back towards you. So toes pointed away, foot in extension on the way up, toes pointed back, foot in flexion. Exhale on the way up on exertion. Inhale as you lower down on that eccentric. Roughly working 2 and 2, guys. So 2 seconds on the lift, 0 pause, 2 seconds down, 0 pause. Unless you're really struggling, if you're really finding this tough going, rest for a second and then lift again. Primarily targeting outside the hip, guys, into that glute region. Mightn't be too bad initially. After a few reps, guys, you'll really start to feel this burn. We're going to go up and hold the next rep. And we're just going to pulse the leg up and down. This is where we really start to feel the burn, guys, on the outside of the hip there. Okay, we're going to go for another 10 seconds or so. A little bit higher if we can. And lower down nice and slow. Perfect. Now from here, you're going to come up onto the left elbow on the same side, okay? And we're going to bring our feet up behind us towards our backside. So you want your shoulders down to your knees in a straight line with your elbow underneath your shoulder, okay? We're going into a modified side plank here, okay? So as we lift the hips up, you want to ensure the elbow stays under the shoulder, top hand up in the air. So your butt from the bottom elbow to the top hand is one long line. And then your main objective is getting your hips as high as you possibly can, so you can feel this working on the outside of the tummy, on the lower side, so the side closest to the ground. Hold that highest point, keeping the hips as high as you physically can. Shorten your breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Yeah, another 10 seconds or so. 3, 2, and 1. Drop back down. We're back onto our arm, so we're resting on that arm again. This time our knees are up in front, so you want the knees up in line with your hip roughly. Flex your feet, so point your toes back towards your shins. Place the hand in front of the chest again. We're going to lift, leading with your knee. Similar sort of tempo to the first one. 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down. Try and maintain 90 degrees at the knee as you lift up. And we're not touching the bottom leg unless you're really starting to struggle. So you can exhale on a lift, inhale as you lower. Good guys, good. Super guys, take your time, don't get erratic. As we're getting tired, you might try and start rushing the reps. Take your time, keep working up that 2 seconds on the way up, 2 seconds on the way down. Everything under your control. Do 3 more reps. 2 more. And last one. Hold it. Perfect. Hold that position for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax down. Push back up onto your hands, and we're just going to swing round. So still facing me, just bring your head to the back of the mat, or the other side of the mat. Okay? And we're just going to rest on that arm again. So we should be on the opposite side. Top hand in front of the chest, one long line the whole way throughout your body. Lift the top leg where your toes are pointed away, and then lower nice and slow, toes pointed back towards you. Like previously guys, 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down. You're under control the whole time. I don't want any erratic movements where you're flying the leg up. Really smooth on both sides, on the way up and the way down. You might find one side a bit more mobile or a bit stronger. That's totally natural. Just focus on taking your time, getting as much range out of the movement as you can. So trying to get as high as you physically can, and then control the whole way throughout. Last couple of reps. Last one, up and hold it, and we're just pulsing the leg up and down. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Like I said guys, you feel that just on the outside of the hip there. Okay, so we're going to slide up onto our elbow, placing the elbow under the shoulder. Curl your feet up behind you so it's a straight line from your shoulders down to your knees. And we're going to try and lift the hips as high as you possibly can, keeping the elbow under the shoulder. 3, 2, 1, lift. Hips as high as you possibly can, keep the elbow under the shoulder, elbow to top hand, one long line. Your main focus here is getting the hips as high as you possibly can. So you're feeling this on the bottom oblique, which is the side closest to the ground. Let's try and get a little bit higher for another 12 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect guys. Lay yourself back onto the side and bring your knees up in front. So again, knee up in line with your hip. Flex your feet, hand in front of the chest. We're going to lift that top leg and lower it nice and slow. Same tempo as the first one, 2 seconds up. When we exhale, 2 seconds down when we inhale. No pause at either end. Good, keep trying to maintain that 90 degrees at the knee as you lift up, and use that hand on the ground as well guys for leverage. So as you're lifting the leg, you're pressing the hand into the ground. Super. Last few reps. One more, up and hold it. Good, keep pressing the top hand into the ground. Maintain 90 degrees at the top knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. From here guys, we're going to roll on to our back. We're going to keep the knees at 90 degrees roughly and feet hip width apart. Okay, hands by your side. We're going into our floor bridge from here. So I want you to break it down step by step. Most people will have a natural arch in their lower back. Your initial movement is just posteriorly tilting the pelvis, flattening that lower back. And really slowly pushing through your heel, pushing through your big toe either side. You're going to peel it back up off the ground, vertebrae by vertebrae, at the highest point. Hold for a couple of seconds and then just reverse the movement as you come down. Tailbone is the last thing to hit the ground. Relax and again. Tilt the pelvis, peel the hips off the ground, pushing through the heel, pushing through the big toe. Super guys. We're only going to go 3 more of these. Take your time. You should feel it primarily, especially with pushing through your heel and the big toe on the back of the legs. Good. 2 to go. You shouldn't be going from your tailbone all of a sudden up onto your shoulders. You should feel it back coming off the ground, vertebrae by vertebrae. And the same when you go back down. Last rep. And we're just going to hold at the highest point. Bend your elbows. And I want you to try and dig your elbows into the ground. To try and use it as leverage, okay? And then really slowly we're just going to lift your toes off the ground, pointing to the sky. And try and squeeze your bum cheeks together a little bit tighter. You should find a bit more engagement around the back of your thighs. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll down really slowly. Excellent. Super guys. From here, keeping the knees 90 degrees, feet on the ground, we're going to come up in the shoulder flexion. So shoulders off the ground as high as you can. Head in that neutral position. I want you to imagine there's a small ball between your chin and your chest. Put a little bit of pressure on it so it doesn't roll off the side, okay? Not fully squeezing down it. And hold that head position, arms as long as possible. Let's get the shoulders off the ground as high as we can, and we're just pulsing the arms up and down. There's nothing moving here apart from your shoulder joint. Your shoulder joint is moving your arm. Arms staying as long as possible, keeping the shoulders as elevated as you possibly can. Take your time. I don't want to see any heads bopping forward or back. Everything is stable. Like I said, shoulder joint moving your arm is the only part of your body moving. Anyone's feeling okay and want to challenge themselves a bit more, you can bring your feet to tabletop, so your knee and hip in line, knee and ankle in line, and the same movement with the arms. If that's too challenging, keep the feet on the ground, it's fine. It's up to you. We're going for another 20 seconds or so. So ideally 2 more full breaths. Keep them arms long. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. If your neck is getting a little bit strained, place one hand behind the head, pulse with the opposite hand, alternate every 10 seconds or so. So every full breath. A full breath is a 5-second inhale, 5-second exhale. 3, 2, and 1. Relax down, guys. Excellent. From here, guys, straighten one leg out, grab one knee, and just pull yourself up. We're going to keep going with the abdominal work. Okay, so legs are straight, heels dug into the ground, up nice and tall, and we're slowly going to round the back onto the ground. So chin tucked in, shoulders rounded. You're going to get to a point that you can contain it and keep your heels on the ground for 2 or 3 seconds. And then we're up nice and tall, reset. We're sitting up as strong as you possibly can each time, and then we just cave in. So shoulders, chin tucked in, back rounds in, get down as low as you can, hold for a couple of seconds, and then up nice and tall, reset. Super guys. Excellent work, guys. Keep taking your time. It should be 6-7 seconds going down each time. Hold for a couple of seconds at the bottom. Keep your heels on the ground. Excellent. We're going to do 2 more. Slow inhale as you lower. Quick exhale on the way up. One more rep. At the lowest point, we're going to hold that position. Shorten your breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Wrist, elbow, shoulder, always in line. 5 seconds, we're just going to roll onto the mat again. 3, 2, and 1. Roll onto the mat. Excellent, guys. From here, just bring your knees into your chest, cross your feet. Hug the knees right in. Head relaxed back. And we're just going to rock the legs a couple of inches either way, just to get a bit of a stretch through the lower back. Nice and relaxed, deep breaths. Keep hold of your left knee with your right hand. Right leg out straight. So right leg is out straight, left knee, right hand. And bring your left hand out in line with your left shoulder. You're just going to pull that knee across the body. So your right arm is pulling your left knee across the body. Keep your left shoulder on the ground. So as you bring that knee across, the shoulder on the opposite side will want to lift up. Keep it on the ground. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, try and pull that knee a little bit tighter to the ground again. Last couple of breaths. And just straighten that left leg out. You're going to grab the right knee with the left hand. Right hand out in line with your right shoulder, palm of the hand facing the sky. Pull that right knee across the body. Once you get to the furthest point across, relax, take a deep breath in. Make sure the right shoulder is still on the ground on the far side. And as you exhale, try and pull that knee a little bit closer to the ground. Last couple. And just hold on to that knee with both hands and pull yourself up. And that's us done, guys. Awesome work.